Hello again. Thank you for watching this video and studying math with me. Today's topic is writing a fraction in lowest terms. So the learning objectives are to figure out if something is in lowest terms and change a fraction into lowest terms, and you can either use the common factor method or you can resort to prime factorization of numerator and denominator. And last but not least, we determine whether two fractions are equivalent. So let's begin with some definitions. Equivalent fractions is defined the following way. The word equivalent means being of equal value. So equivalent fractions have the same value even though they may look different. So, for example, 1 over 3 is equivalent to 2 over 6 because they're both in lowest terms equal to 1/3. Now we say a fraction is written in lowest terms when the numerator and denominator have no common factor other than 1. So you see 2 over 6 is not in lowest terms because 2 would go into 2 once and 2 would also go into that 3 times. But 1/3 is in lowest terms. So that was using the method of common factors to cancel things out. We can also use a method of prime factors where we prime factor both numerator and denominator, and then we cancel out the prime factors in both numerator and denominator, and then we can multiply the remaining factors in the numerator and denominator to have an expression for the fraction in lowest terms. You should be an active learner, and so the next slide is going to be something that you can work on. Pause to work the problems, and then you can start the video again to look at the solutions. So here are a set of problems that you can embrace. So pause the video and we'll go from there. Now we're back. So what we want to do in this topic is decide whether the given factor, in this case 4, is a factor of both 20 and 8. And the answer is yes. Here we're asking, is 5 a factor of both 35 and 21? It is a factor of 35 but not 21, so the answer is going to be no. 2 will go into both of these because they're both even numbers, so that is a yes. And here 11 will go into 88, but 11 will not go into 122, so the answer there is no. In the next set of exercises, we're to write each fraction in lowest terms using common factors. So here 5 goes into 5 once, 5 goes into 10 twice, so that should be 1/2. Here 16 goes into 16 once, 16 goes into 64 4 times, so that is 1/4. Here 7 goes into 42 6 times, 7 goes into 77 11 times, so that is 6 over 11. And here 2 will go into both of these, and so we can get 2 goes into that 44 times, and 2 goes into that 45 times, and so that is 44 over 45. Now we can use the method of prime factors if we want to. This is going to be 2 times 2 over 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. And so those cancel with that, and so this is going to be 1 over 4. Here we do a prime factorization. We get 3 times 5. We prime factor at the bottom. It is 5 times 7. The common factor is that, so the answer is 3 over 7. Here this is going to be 3 times 3 times 3. And down here we would have 3 times 3, which is 9 times 2 times 2 times 2. So those two factors rather, we still have a 3 left, but we cancel 2 of the 3's with 2 of the 3's down there, and we get that this is 3 over 8. And this one, 11 will go into both of those, so 11 goes into this one 6 times, and actually we're supposed to be doing prime factors, so this is 2 times 3 times 11, and this is 7 times 2, 7 times 11 rather. Okay, so the things that cancel are the 11s, and so you will get 6 over 7 for that answer. Now we're supposed to determine whether these fractions are equivalent or not. Well, we've already talked about this. 2 goes into that once, 2 goes into that 3 times, so that is equivalent. Here what happens is 3 goes into 21 7 times, but 3 goes into this 11. So this is 7 over 11. That's not the same thing as this. So the answers would be yes over here. It would be no here. Here we have 6 goes into the numerator 4 times. 6 goes into that time, so that is yes. And here what we're going to do is, let's see, we got, so if we take 3 goes into this 30 times, but 3 doesn't go into that, so we can't take 3 and 4, and so these two are not going to be equivalent, because if I were to reduce this side, I would have 16, that would be 8. I'm taking a 2 out of each of those, so it's 8 over 45. But if I reduce this side, I would have 2 over 15. Those aren't the same. Those aren't the same numbers, so that also would be a no. Now, the serious student should do a bunch of problems in their book, read the examples, and do some problems. But for now, I'm going to be closing the video. Time is precious. Each day must count. Do the math. It will make you strong. Please take care, and I will see you in class.